At least this lady's like, yeah, it's a baby and I don't care and I'll kill it. Okay, so at least we can see her evil on full display. So points for that. Clarity is
yes, they literally love killing babies. That woman on the street literally wants you to kill her baby, represented by the fake plastic baby that she was holding. Ben Shapiro reacts to more insane woke TikToks is the headline, everybody. Let's see what Ben Shapiro has to say about woke talk.
As you will recall, we did a YouTube video a while back that had me reacting to woke videos. My producers decided to torture me with that. But apparently y'all love that, so they get to torture me again. So here we go.
Hi everybody, it's your friendly female alter art. And in today's video, we will be switching. Me and Alex will be switching out who is in front in this video. Please give us a like because I know we're gonna get called fake for this. All right, here goes. Hey everyone, it's Alex from the A System. The reason me and Art can switch so quickly is because we've been in the system the longest. We've both been in the system since early childhood.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
For example, the switch between me and Asher is a lot longer.
Wait, is the reacting gonna be Ben Shapiro making faces and then afterwards in the edit room they add in the parts? Because that's not really react ending. You're like, your editors are doing the heavy lifting there. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I'll just make that face. And then you can just put someone else talking in the background. It'll be funny.
Longer than that. Thank you.
So at the beginning, I thought that this person was actually going to perform some sort of feat of engineering because they're talking about how they're going to switch and the switch is going to be fast. I'm like, wow, we're going to like build the computer or something. Nope. We're just going to demonstrate some symptoms of pretty severe mental illness and treat it as though that is like a sign of not only wellness, but higher being. Art, who is a she, her, and Alex, who's a he, him, are the same human. And switching your voice a little bit does not make you a different human being. If you actually have multiple personality disorder to the point where you actually believe that you are multiple personalities, you really, really need to see.
Wow, of course. Yes, naturally it had to go there.
See a psychiatrist. That is a serious mental disorder. Man.
How do you feel about flat Earth?
I mean, it's flat.
You're running with flat Earth theory?
Yeah, I'm running.
My uncle one time, so I'm from Maine, I'm a lobster fisherman, right? So my uncle one time, he got in his boat and he went way past the 3 mile line, all the way out towards Canada. And I swear to God, we never saw that motherfucker again. He went all the way past towards Canada, and I believe, personally, that he sailed off the edge of the earth. Well, there's always the Marianas Trench, and you know that it splits the earth in half, right? And so if you fall off the edge of the earth, you just go straight in.
Yep, all right. I feel like you can sign up.
What? So is this like flat earthers are woke? Is that the angle here? How are these videos quote unquote woke? The whole title of this is reacts to more insane woke TikToks. Like flat earthers, yeah, they're overwhelmingly right wing. All right.
Are those people serious?
No, she was joking.
Are you serious?
That has to be a joke, right? Like if they're joking, that's really funny. If they're not joking, it's even funnier but sad because presumably folks like that vote.
Is that the first time he's learned about flat earthers? No way. I fail to believe that. I fail to believe that.
Every time. This has been my...
Yeah, I know. I was wondering that too. I was like, is it just because they have unconventional hair colors? Is that all it takes nowadays? It's like, well, you know, you're slightly blue. This is a woke TikTok.
First year in preschool with a class of my own, teaching alongside another queer neurodivergent educator, and we have been rocking our twos class. We've been talking about gender and skin color and consent and empathy and our bodies and autonomy. It's been fabulous. But our teaching team is shifting and a new person is being onboarded, someone with many years of experience. So today at the lunch table, when the topic of gender and genitals came up, one of our students plainly looked up and said, well, I'm a girl today, but I know that teacher Co isn't. No, they're NB. And the look on the incoming teacher's face was priceless.
Like, can just wait for it. Like, are you gonna watch this, Ben, and be like, cringe, cringe. These people, they clearly don't understand what's going on.
She was shocked in a good way. And she just looked around at the two of us and said, this class is incredible and I am so impressed.
Take your kids away from these people. Take your kids away from these people.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
These people should be nowhere near your children. They're indoctrinating 2-year-olds into the idea that they can change.
2! He was very excited with that one.
Scared.
These people should be nowhere near your children. They're indoctrinating 2-year-olds into the idea that they can change their gender every other day, which is a lie. It is an absolute lie.
I assume like both the first video and this video now are going to be deeply upsetting and troubling to Ben, because the idea of gender fluid is going to be like so far beyond the pale. So far beyond the pale. Like Ben is still struggling with very simple concepts, right? Like the separation of sex and gender, aspects like that. I can't imagine Ben Shapiro trying to wrap his head around that kind of stuff.
Honestly, I don't blame this woman. I don't blame her. I blame the parents. Who the hell are the parents who decided I'm giving my kids over to this person? This person is an adult.
I'm gonna guess probably a public school. Probably because it's a public school and it's where they live, so they probably take their kids to public. Like, not everyone can afford private school, Ben, where you can basically pick and choose where you want to go to your private school, stuff of that nature. They most likely would go to the school that they were closest to geographically. That's kind of how it works. Hey, Space Robot Dragon, thank you.
She can do exactly what she wants to do. And if she wants to call herself NB or Wimby or Hoomby or Gumby, I don't care.
Oh, it's the one joke. It's the one joke, everybody. They did it.
If you are talking about handing small children over to the predations of this ideology, you are a bad parent. You are a terrible parent.
You know.
Wait, so does that mean Ben Shapiro wants to reform the public school system? Because if so, wow, that's interesting. I did not see that take coming. All right, Ben, we finally agree. Let's put more funding into public schools.
Babies are babies, first of all. Second of all, sex and gender are two completely different things.
It's true.
Babies are assigned a sex at birth based on their genitalia. Gender is more of...
Why are they so offended at trans people? Trans people are like 0.02% of the population. Calm the fuck down, Ben, by Catalina Gearbox. Also, if you want to hear the robot say it, Catalina, go over to the Serfs.tv, because that way the robot will give your donation speech.
Of your concept of yourself, it's the way you innately identify and feel. Once my child is old enough, they'll tell me how they feel and what their preferred pronouns.
I feel like basically they were like, this last segment was very popular because finally we got a way to talk about TikTok and do that kind of stuff. So they basically told their editors, hey, can you find me all of the TikTok videos you can that are related to gender? And they're like, okay, and then we'll just call it the woke TikTok compilation, even though everyone so far seems to be related to gender.
I'm sorry.
I'm crying along with that baby. In a sane world, CPS is on the way. And really, this insanity, like placing on a child the notion that the child is going to choose their own gender. We know what gender your child is.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
There it is.
Peculiarly Cartesian duality between the gender soul and the human body that these people purport to believe in is just, it's crazy. It's crazy and it's sad. And when it's applied to kids, this is a dereliction of basic parental duty. Your job as an adult is to guide your child through life, not to sit around waiting for your child to tell you what they think their gender is. Kids are not assigned sex at birth. Any doctor who says that kids are assigned sex at birth should not be a doctor. They should be put in a mental institution.
Look, Dad! The walls are padded!
I'm a savage.
It's pretty funny that he'll go that far to say things like that, and at the same time kind of do it in defiance of what a lot of like the current academia is on these like topics.
Yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody. Hey.
Well, I mean, dogs can transmit COVID. I don't know if the dog is vaccinated, so we have to be super careful.
Teehee, and or it's just like a fashion choice that people did because I thought it was cute. They're like, yeah, I have to wear a mask, my dog in a mask. I'm doing it because I think it's cute. Same reason that some people put dogs in like sweatshirts and sunglasses. That's it. Don't think it has to be as big a political statement as you think it is. Stephs, thank you for subscribing to Prime.
Dogged her. Fauci says so.
That's disgusting.
This one's for all the people who get offended by being called colonizers, so if that's not you, you can keep scrolling.
I was like, I've seen this TikTok. Oh, wow. All right, let's see what Ben has to say. We're going to have some good old-fashioned indigenous racism.
The rest of you, I don't ever want to see or hear you ever again say that you shouldn't face the consequences for what your ancestors did. You should, because in this exact moment, you're benefiting off of a system that was built by your ancestors because of what they did. At the same moment, natives like myself and even younger generations are still feeling the repercussions of what your ancestors did. So do not, I repeat, do not come onto my page or any other native's page and say that you shouldn't face the consequences of what your ancestors did. Because
I'll just say, as someone who's very, very terminally online with Twitter, I follow a lot of indigenous, like Twitter, a lot of indigenous TikTok as well. That's not like a prominent sentiment. There's not a huge amount of indigenous people who are consistently like, you have to directly face consequences for things that happened before you were born, because that makes sense. The sentiment is overwhelmingly that these systems of power that are being held up, the white supremacies, I'm sure you've heard before, if you help propagate that, if you help not enact change in regards to the way the system currently works, then yes, you are part of the problem. Not that you should have to literally face consequences for actions that happened before you even existed on the planet.
that is complete BS.
Honestly, pagan tribalism is when you start saying things like, your ancestors make you responsible for anything they did in the past, and so we must punish you. This is sort of what biblical values came around to correct. You read Hammurabi's Code, and Hammurabi's Code says that kids can be punished for the sins of the parents, and then the Bible says, really, that's not supposed to happen. Obviously, history has consequences, right? There's no question. For everyone, history has consequences. Some of the consequences of that history are terrible. Some of the consequences of that history are good. Like that particular Native American woman, obviously, she is using some sort of sophisticated phone equipment in order to film this and place it on TikTok, a Chinese service. Right? There are lots of consequences to civilizational...
Sophisticated phone. Oh, he means a cell phone. I get it. Okay, there you go. And I was going to talk about original sin. That was the thing I was going to bring up. I was like, why is everyone born with original sin? That seems kind of unfair. I mean, that's basically exactly that.
Development. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. But to suggest that people today must pay the price for the sins of people in 1828, when, by the way, one of the great lies that's also been told about sort of colonization and tribal warfare is that it began with the West. It absolutely did not. Native American tribes fought each other to a bloody pulp for centuries before the arrival of Westerners. That's not an excuse for Western treatment. It is a reality of history. But this basic...
It's just a very weird whataboutism that you usually get from like white nationalists, by the way. It's basically, well, yeah, at the same time. I mean, they were warring against each other. So was it really technically a genocide? Does it count as such if at the end of the day they were also engaged in their own forms of combat?
And then you guys were like, oh, sweet, let's light tiki torches and be openly racist again. And then you guys were like, global pandemic? Fake news, let's make this way harder than it has to be. And then you guys were like, maybe you guys might have been right about climate change, but it's really too late to do anything about it, so f*** it. And then you guys were like, life-saving vaccine? The government's trying to kill us, and you guys are too stupid to take it. And now I gotta wear a f***ing mask again? Because if you f***s again? Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you guys?
I'm not the one on TikTok, lady. Like just ranting into my camera phone. TikTok just seems like a place for people with serious mental problems. I like how she lumped...
Well, that's what happens when like the only TikToks you're ever shown are these really specifically cultivated ones. I guess that's what it comes down to. TikTok, I like, honestly, it's got to be one of the least angry social media platforms, because like you scroll through it and the majority of them are just like, like, oh wow, that's like another person dancing, that's like another person doing some kind of like incredible experiment, and here's a magic trick. It's like, it's a lot less angry than Twitter, I would say. Even political TikTok, like it's just people trying to think of like classy videos, or sorry, clever videos, not always classy.
Everybody in together there also. Who is you guys? So everybody who voted for Trump is a tiki torch carrying white supremacist who also rejects.
Also, what do you do for a living, Ben? What is your job? What are you doing right now with this and the camera and this? Same thing as me. I'm just ranting into microphones politically.
Vaccines. Also, if she's really worried about wearing a mask, like, don't. Really, it seems like you're the one who's trying to foist something on somebody else. Why isn't it the fault of your politicians who are cramming down mask mandates? If you're really pissed about wearing a mask, don't. And if you're vaccinated, you're safe. So what are you whining about?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran.
Because I'm sure everyone already knows this, but just to reiterate, because Ben likes to just skip over this fact, if you are protected from 93 to 96%, there's still only a small percentage of people, when given a large population size of hundreds of millions of individuals, who could still contract the virus. And even if you do contract the virus and you're unaware of the symptoms because you happen to have, let's say, the Delta virus, but you're asymptomatic, you can spread it to a lot of other people who might not be vaccinated, such as grandma, and then they could get very sick and they could die. That's why everybody en masse has to become vaccinated, or we have this problem / catastrophe, this perpetual virus scenario that we seem to be going towards.
Ran a bunch of bad boys. One of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. You, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off.
All those robots are creepy.
Off, and I
don't get me wrong, Joe Biden looks really creepy, but they're all creepy. Races. Every one of them is so creepy.
Not a
joke. Oh, that's some solid stuff right there. That's good stuff.
Hi, my name is Julia. I love abortion and detention. It's true. If you hold your hand up like this long enough, people will stop getting pregnant. Actually, I'm pretty sure abortion does make a baby go away. Gosh, can she stop taking other designers' designs? It's actually really not cool. Abort it. Abort it. Abort.
This is going to make Ben Shapiro quite livid. I imagine this is not the kind of TikTok that Ben Shapiro wants to watch.
Abort it, abort it, abort it. Look at all of the cops here to make sure that no one steals anything from Sephora. Is this the Nikki version?
What the f? The pride that abortion rights advocates take in actual abortion is kind of astonishing, right? We went real fast from safe, legal, and rare to,
please kill my baby! Kill my baby!
My favorite part here is where she's like, I think it does make a baby go away. Well, at least we're acknowledging the obvious now. At least we're just acknowledging that you like killing babies. So points for honesty there. Like really more points to honesty for this lady than for most abortion advocates who are like, oh, it's just a cluster of cells.
Or, Ben, could it be people pushing off against how draconian the laws are, and more so than they actually take a lot of pleasure in murdering babies? Could it be that they're just being hyperbolic and pushing back against the fact that you're turning back time so very rapidly?
So it means at least this lady's like, yeah, it's a baby and I don't care and I'll kill it. Okay, so at least we can see her evil on full display. So points for that. Clarity is
yes, they literally love killing babies. That woman on the street literally wants you to kill her baby, represented by the fake plastic baby that she was holding.
Clarity's a good thing. Alrighty, so the honest takeaway from TikTok videos is that it is a bunch of people who have serious problems and have been poisoned by the intersectional wokeness.
The intersectional wokeness. You've done it, everybody. You've poisoned us.
Of today. Ideological leftism is just an absolute cancer. I mean, look how it is screwed with people's heads.
Just look.
This is cancer.
Look at the...
Wait, I'm pretty sure Filthy Frank would not approve of you using Filthy Frank as a reference. And Ben, if you knew some of the things that Filthy Frank said, you would not have put Filthy Frank on your show, even to make a point. You probably would have been like, wait, I mean, have you seen Filthy Frank's videos on abortion and his spicy takes? I mean, I probably couldn't even play them on stream. They'd probably be a little too TOS.
Insanity that they're preaching and cheering and feel like they ought to be cheered for. The scariest thing about this is, of course, millions of young kids are going to watch this stuff. So it's young kids watching videos of young people indoctrinating young children in many of these cases. Yeah, there's something seriously wrong with our culture, and that's what these woke videos show.
We have been wokeified. Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's It's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Tigro and Payton El Jus, we pray to you, our sky daddies, to keep us safe from harm. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we shall humbly clean your golden toilets in your spatial palaces. To our lords, Ultra Wolf, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we are eternally grateful for this small segment of land for us to toil and work. To our knights, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants Are Still Running the World, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, Catherine, Bone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Jopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glasses, we raise our swords, and we salute you, our friends. And to Lance, you are the wind beneath my wings.